to close the window, guys. It's a little rainy today. A rainy day in Southern California is not, well, it's a little bit rare, I suppose. So it's nice and welcomed. Well, I think we can begin. So let's start in a comfortable seat, and that blanket or pillow that you have, if you want to sit your bottom right on the edge of it so your hips are a little bit higher than the heels, it feels nice. If it's not comfortable to cross your shins, you can have your feet on the floor. Some people like to sit in Vajrasana, sitting on the heels, or Virasana, between the heels, or block between the heels. These are all welcome poses. The important thing is that you can be comfortable for a moment. So once you get into your comfortable seat, then close your eyes. And take a deep breath in and a deep exhale and relax. So whatever you had going on today, if it's later in the day or even in the morning, all the things that have already occurred today, just set those aside. If you have plans after your yoga practice, set those aside for now as well. So as we're sitting and breathing, we're also setting up our minds and our bodies for yoga. So create a space within your body, within your mind, where your focus and attention begins to draw inward. And as your focus and attention draws inward, start to listen for your breath. If you can practice Ujjayi pranayama, breathing in and out through the nose, slightly constricting the back of your throat, do that now. If that doesn't work well for you, just breathe. And do your best to maintain your inhales and exhales to be equal in length. And now let's bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. This is a mudra of reverence. And if you leave a little space between your palms, this signifies space to be holding your heart. As our world continues to have its challenges, focus on sending out love. So imagine that your heart is in your hands and it is beaming out a green light. That is the light of the heart chakra. And this bright green light is extending outward from you and is being received by all beings everywhere. And the more we can extend out the light of love and hope, the more we can bring ourselves closer together. We are all connected. So when one of us feels pain, we all feel it. So by sending out this love, we're sending out healing as well. So may we all receive the love that's being sent out. And as we receive it, we extend it out even further throughout the world, throughout the planet, throughout the universe, allowing it to come back 100 times stronger. And now let's connect our energy and our voices together as we begin our practice with the divine sound of Om. Join out loud if you can, if you wish. Otherwise, Om in your mind. Exhale everything out and inhale for Om. Om. Breathe in the essence of Om. And then release your hands and let your eyes softly blink open. Ha. Centered, grounded. Let's get moving. Make your way onto your hands and your knees. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your fingers, and as you inhale, bring your chest forward. Lift your chin, lift your tailbone up. And as you exhale, round your back, chin toward chest, and then take your hips all the way back to your heels and pause here in child's pose. You can let your head rest on the mat or not. And then inhale, coming onto the hands and knees, bring your chest forward. Widen across your collarbones, let your heart shine through, and then exhale, round your back, pull your belly and ribs in, press away from the earth, chin toward chest, and take your hips back to your heels. And then once again, inhale, chest forward, lifting chin and tailbone up, draw the shoulder blades toward the waist. Stretch out the front of the body. And exhale. Tuck the tail, round the back, chin toward chest. Press away from the earth. And then take your hips to the heels. And pause here a moment and press into the base of your fingers. So you're pressing the mat forward so that your hips can stretch back toward your heels, lengthening your spine. Now, if you have any issues with the knees and you won't press, you might be up here. It's totally fine. You can press and just get into the spine that way. And then we'll come back to hands and knees. And this time, walk your wrists back under your shoulders with your knees under your hips. If you have any issues with the knees or you have a thin mat, then pad up your knees for this one. Extending the right leg back, toes tucking under, and then inhale, lift your right leg up from the inner thigh and drop the outer hip. Pull the ribs and belly in and reach your left arm forward. Breathing here, take a breath in as you stretch through the arm and the leg, inhale. And then exhale, pull the knee and the elbow right to center, press away from the earth, ribs and belly in and up, lift your pelvic floor. Inhale, extend and reach. Drop that outer right hip. Exhale, pull it in like you're moving through water. Use your own resistance. Inhale and stretch out, dropping that outer hip. And then exhale, pull it in slowly, press away from the earth, round through your upper back, pull your ribs and belly in, strongly lift your pelvic floor. Reach out, inhale, and pause. And now take your left hand down, keeping the right leg extended, tuck the toes under, place it onto the earth. And then inhale, pull your left knee into your belly. round the back. Exhale, come to plank. If it's too much, always take the knees down. Inhale, right knee to belly, rounding through the upper back. Exhale, back to plank. Once again, each leg. Left knee in, pressing away from the earth. Inhale. Ribs and belly in, pelvic floor lifted. Exhale, plank, chest forward, heels back. Inhale, right knee in. Pressing away, lifting those bandhas. Low belly, Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha, pelvic floor. Plank pose. Take a breath and then lift back into down dog. And just for a couple of breaths, we'll bicycle the legs. Arms are shoulders distance and feet hips width. And stretch back. Straighten the knees as much as they will comfortably, not forcing. We'll get there. We'll warm up. And now inhale, we're going to come back to hands and knees. So coming forward, take the knees down. And then you might need to adjust a little bit so that your wrists are once again under the shoulders. And your knees are again under the hips. I'm extending the left leg back, tuck the toes under. Then inhale, lift it from the inner thigh. So your toes should point straight to the earth and drop your outer hip down, lifting ribs and belly in and up. Right arm forward, hold. Take a breath in to extend through the arm and the leg. As you exhale, slowly pull all the way through center. Rounding the upper back, engaging those bandhas. Inhale, extend out and reach. And then exhale, pull it all into center like you're moving through water. Use your own resistance. Rounding through the upper back. Inhale and reach out. Exhale, pull it all in. Ribs and belly lifted. Lift the pelvic floor muscles, engage. Inhale and extend. Hold here for a moment. Now return your right hand down underneath the shoulder, keeping the left leg extended. Tuck the toes under, place your foot down. Take a breath in. Exhale, right knee to chest. Rounding through the back, pull the ribs and belly in. Inhale, plank pose, chest forward, heels back. Exhale, left knee to chest. Pressing away from the earth. Inhale, plank. One more each side. Exhale, right knee, rounding, pulling in. Inhale, back into plank. Exhale, left knee in. Inhale, plank pose. Knees can be up or down, your choice. If they're up, lift them toward the sky. Shift your shoulders forward about an inch, slowly lower to your belly. Exhale. Hands by the low ribs, press all 10 toenails down. Pull your belly and lengthen butt to heels. Inhale, peel the chest up. Pull your hands toward your feet, widen across your heart center. Take a big breath here. And then exhale, staying up. Inhale, see if you can stay up just as high and lift your hands off of the earth. And then exhale, lower. Tuck your toes under. You can keep your knees down. That's a little bit easier. I wouldn't say easy, but a little bit. Or lift them up for more of a challenge. Take an inhale. Exhale, here we go, straight to plank. And then down dog. Back into your down dog. If you want to still bicycle the legs, feel free. Or turning outer upper arms back. Press into the base of your fingers, especially the thumb first finger side, and lift your forearms. Inner thighs spinning back, firming the legs. Now take a breath in. Exhale until you're empty. At the bottom of your exhale, draw your belly in and up, empty of breath. Lift your pelvic floor. Let it go. Inhale. And then again, exhale till you're empty. Bottom of your exhale, still empty. Pull the belly in and up, lift the pelvic floor muscles. Hold. Drop your belly, inhale one more. Exhale till you're empty. Belly in and up, pelvic floor lifted, hold. Release belly, inhale. Come on to the balls of your feet, exhale everything out, bend the knees, keep your hips high, look past your fingers. Inhale, lightly step or hop your feet to your hands. Come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold, bend your knees as needed, especially as you're warming up, let your head hang. Take an extra breath here. Let's take a couple. Nodding the head, yes. Turning no, releasing any tension in the neck. Make a little figure eight with your head and your hips. Why not? One more breath. And then hands to hips. Come on up with a nice long spine to the top of your mat. Feet together, big toes touching, heels slightly apart, or feet hip socket distance apart. Make sure the outer edges are parallel. Press evenly into the four corners of your feet. Firm the legs. Pull in through the belly. Lengthen your butt down. Roll your shoulders back. And imagine there's a string attached to your chest and another to the crown of the head, making you nice and tall. Inhale, reach your arms up. Let's salute the sun, Surya A. Exhale, hinge from the hip creases and fold forward. Inhale, look up, lengthen halfway. Exhale, stepping to plank. And shifting forward, hug the elbows in, knees can be up or down. Chaturanga. Then inhaling, upward dog, thighs and knees up, or stick with cobra. And then exhale. Make your way back, down dog. Breathe. Your inhales and exhales equal in length. Drawing in and up through the lower belly, lifting the pelvic floor. And do that a little bit more strongly at the bottom of your exhales. Now inhale onto the balls of the feet. Exhale everything out, but keep your butt up. Look past your fingers, engage your low belly and pelvic floor, lightly step or hop, inhaling. And then come halfway up. Fold as you exhale, knees can be bent or straight. Inhale, come up with a nice flat back as you reach. Exhale, samastitihi, steady balance. Surya A again, we're going to jump back into chaturanga if you do. Otherwise, you'll step back to plank and lower. Knees can be up or down as always. Remember, when you jump back for chaturanga, you're going to land with your elbows bent and roll those shoulder heads back. Here we go. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Engage your bandhas here. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step or hop. Chaturanga. Inhale, pressing through the hands and feet, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog, stretch back. Even out, inhales, exhales, equal in length. For 3 breaths. 3 more. And 2, firming the legs without locking your knees and firming your arms without locking your elbows. Take 1 more big breath in. Exhale everything out. Bend the knees, hips high. Look past your fingers, engage your bandhas, and lightly step or hop on your inhale. Come halfway up, lengthen. Fold as you exhale. Inhale, rise up. Offer your heart to the sky and exhale. Samastitihi. Again, inhale and reach. Exhale, hinging and folding forward. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, stepping to plank or lowering or hop, landing chaturanga. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, stretch back. Now remember, if at any time you could use a break, and we can all use a break from time to time, let's take your knees down, take a child's pose rest. You can always just jump back in when you're ready. Take another long breath in. Exhale everything out. Inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, hips high, engage bandhas. Then inhale, step or hop. Lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold and root through your feet. Rise up, inhaling. Exhale. Bring that heart energy right to the center of your chest. Now we'll inhale, bend the knees, come into chair. Weight into the heels, drop your buns down. Then exhale, belly to thighs, and now straighten the legs and fold any amount. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or float for chaturanga. Inhale, press to the hands and feet. Exhale to down dog. As you inhale, we'll float the right leg back and up. The left leg can come to center and level out your hips. So your toes will point straight to the earth. As you exhale, draw your thigh towards your belly. Make sure your shoulders are above your wrists. Take another breath here. And now we'll inhale, step it up by the right thumb. Stand the ball of your back foot for high lunge. Bend the back knee, tilt your pelvis forward a little bit, pull your right hip back. Ribs and belly are in. Lift up through the back ribs as you stretch. Arrow straight arms. Keep pressing into your front heel and make sure that knee is just above the ankle and it's pointed over the middle toes. Now bring your hands to heart center. Lean your torso forward, inhale. Exhale, take your left arm across for a twist. Now, if that is too much of a twist, you can have your left hand on the earth, right arm up. If you want a deeper twist, left hand to the little toe side of the foot or a block, and right arm up. If you're a little bit wobbly, walk your right foot over to the right. Pull the right hip back as you breathe. So we want to try and keep the hips level and twist from above the waist. One more breath here, inhale. Now exhale, bring your right hand back to the earth and step to plank. Or you could go right to down dog and skip chaturanga. Inhale, press up. Exhale to plank. Hold it or shift forward, chaturanga, press straight up to plank, and then to down dog. Take a breath here. And now we'll lift the left leg up from the inner thigh with level hips. Point the toes straight to the earth. As you exhale, draw the left belly in, or left thigh in toward the belly. Hold here. Make sure your shoulders are above the wrists. Engage your bandhas as you breathe. And now looking up at your left hand, step your left foot next to the thumb. Stand the ball of your back foot. Come on up. High lunge. Take a little bend in your back knee. Lift your hip points toward your lower ribs. Pull in through the belly. Pull the left hip back and then straighten through the back leg. Arrow straight arms. You can have your arms wide if your arms don't like to come up by the ears. So if you have tightness in the shoulders, your rib cage will puff out, and we don't want that. So Keep those front ribs drawing down, lift through the back ribs, and you do wide arms. Breathe here, making sure left knee is above ankle. And now hands to heart center, leaning forward. We'll take the right arm across and twist. Remember, if that's a little too much, right hand to the big toe side on a block or on the earth, or hands at heart center in prayer position, or right hand down to the earth and left arm up. Keep pulling the left hip back. You can look up toward the top hand. I'm not, because if I do, you can't hear me as well, but you can turn your chin up if you'd like. Breathe. If you're feeling wobbly, walk your left foot more to the left. Let's take another breath here. And then releasing the left hand down, make your way into plank. And lower through chaturanga or skip it, going to down dog. Inhaling up. Cobra is always your option. Exhale back to plank. And you can stay in plank, or one more, double dipping chaturanga, shoulders no lower than elbows, press straight up, and then to down dog. Breathe here, or breathe in child's pose. You should be starting to feel a little warm. I know I am. So, sun salutations, and this is the one we just did. It's not really a traditional sun salutation, but a variation. They're great for warming up the body, linking your breath and your movements, and turning your attention inward. Stretch back as you take another breath. Now inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale everything out. Lift your belly, lift your pelvic floor. Look past your fingers. Lightly step or hop as you inhale. And then flat back, fold as you exhale. Inhale, bend the knees and drop your hips, coming up into chair pose. And Samastitihi. We're going to do now Surya Namaskar B. And we're going to do the traditional. So there won't be a leg lift before you step the foot forward, but if you need one, you take it. You might fall a little behind, but then again, we don't have to be perfect. It's not about the pose anyway. Yoga is an inside job, so don't worry. Surya B. Inhale, bend the knees, sit back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or float to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, always your choice, and exhale to down dog. So for one breath, step your right foot up by your right hand, spin your back heel down, inhaling warrior one, and then exhale right away and ride the breath down. You can skip it and go to down dog, otherwise another chaturanga. Inhale, press through hands and feet. Exhale, down dog. One breath steps the left foot up, back heel is down, heel to heel alignment or wider. Inhale up. Exhale, riding the breath back down. Chaturanga or skip it. Inhale, press through hands and feet. Exhale to down dog. Even out your breath here. Make sure your inhales and your exhales come back to being even. If they're not, come onto your knees and take child's pose. Inner thighs spin back, outer edges of feet are parallel. Spread the fingers, soften around the neck. Let's take one more big breath. And now inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale everything out. Keep your hips high and lightly step or hop. Inhale. Halfway lift. Fold, exhale. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, and Samasthiti. Let's do one more. Inhale, bend the knees, sit back. Exhale, belly to thighs, and then straighten legs, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or float for chaturanga. Inhale, press through hands and feet. Exhale, down dog. One breath, right foot steps back, heel is down, rise up on your inhale, knee over ankle. Exhale, lower right back down, chaturanga or skip it. Inhale, press through hands and feet. Exhale, down dog. One breath, inhaling, left foot steps back, heel flat, rise up. Exhale, lower back down, chaturanga or go to down dog. Inhale up. Exhale back. Again, even out your breath here. Resting if you need a rest. This is your body. This is your practice. I'm just a guide, giving you options, but ultimately it's your choice. Gaze between the knees or the feet is your drishti. Drishti is focal point, which helps to keep the focus internal. Take another long breath. Now inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale it all out. Keep your hips high. Engage your bandhas. Lightly step or hop. Inhale. Halfway lift. And fold. Exhale. Bend your knees. Drop your hips. Inhale. Arrow straight arms. Exhale. Samasthiti. So we had a request for tree pose. So let's do that. Left foot down, we'll pick up the right foot and take it anywhere above or below the knee. You can even get the sole of the foot to rest right in the outer knee. Just don't press hard. Find a spot to focus on. Use a wall if you need. Balance is different on different days, so never take it personally. Add the arms when you're ready. Squeeze the left hip in towards center as you drop your right hip down. For 3 breaths. And 2. Now we'll inhale, point the right knee to the front of the mat. Exhale, extend it out any amount. Keep dropping that right hip down, squeezing the left hip in. One more breath here. Now, if you're still with me, bend the knee. Bring your left hand to the outside of the knee and the right arm behind you for a little twist, or look for or grab the little toe side of the foot and extend it out. Bandhas, bandhas, bandhas. One more breath. Gazing back to the front and release. Do the second side, grounding down through the right leg now. Make sure that outer edge of the foot is parallel with the outside of your mat. Left foot up. You can keep the ball of the foot on the floor if your balance is a little off today, or anywhere below or above the knee, or lightly with the sole of the foot on the outer knee. Squeezing right hip in, dropping left hip down. Find your steady focal point, your drishti. Add your arms. Relax on either side of the neck as you breathe. Now we'll point the left knee to the front of the mat, extending the leg any amount, but keep dropping the left hip down and squeezing the right hip in. Lots of bandhas to help with your stability. Then bending your left knee, Take your right hand to the outside, left arm behind. You can stay right here. I might stay right here today. Or, let me just get my focal point. Take the hand to the little toe side of the foot, extending the leg, reaching back. Oh, I like the wow of being here. Left arm behind you. Dropping your left hip, squeezing the right in. And then back to center and release. A little wobbly, but what are you gonna do? Take your feet hip socket distance apart, hands to hips, and open the chest. Inhale. And then we're just gonna fold forward, hinging at the hip creases. Take a fold. Knees can be bent or straight. And grab your elbows and just gently rock yourself side to side. So if your legs are straight, then shift the weight toward the balls of your feet. If your knees are bent, it doesn't matter. And if the legs are straight, make sure your muscles are firmed without locking your knees. Now release your arms down toward the mat and lightly nod yes. No side to side, any movement to release tension in the neck, tension in the jaw. And now bring hands to hips and come on up with a nice long spine. Let's turn to the side of the mat, the long side, and then wipe the sweat from your brow as you step out nice and wide. Turn your right leg all the way out and your back toes in a little. Line up your front heel and your back arch. Take your arms at shoulder height. Inhale and exhale, warrior two. Make sure your front knee is over the ankle, pointed straight over your middle toes. Now we're going to take this left hand behind the back, rolling the shoulder back and reverse. As you exhale, bend into the front knee a little more, pressing through outer edge of back foot. And then inhale, come up, lean forward, wrapping right arm around your belly, left arm forward, pinky side down. Exhale, press into the heel. Inhale again, do the same thing. Left hand behind, reverse, widen the chest. Exhale, bend the knee. And inhale back up, lean forward, wrap the arm around the belly. Exhale, left arm forward in line with the ear. Look up if you can. Last one, inhale, reverse, and bend, exhale. Now inhale, come forward, lean forward, arm around belly, left arm forward, spin the tricep down, bending into the knee, breathe. And then inhale, this time take your left hand to the leg and reverse your warrior this way. Exhale, now inhale, slowly straighten that leg. Ah, feels good. Exhale here, and then come on up for triangle pose. You can keep your stance as long as it is or shorten it a bit if you like. Hinge from the hip crease, reach, reach, reach. Taking your right hand wherever it falls. Bottom ribs forward, top ribs back. Add the top arm. And then we'll inhale to reach it forward. Exhale, sweep it down and bring it behind you to the low back or hook it onto the thigh. Either way, try to roll this top shoulder back. Press weight into the big toe mound of your right foot and draw your right sitting bone under you. Engage your bandhas and breathe. Soften around the neck. You can look up if that's okay on your neck. And I encourage lengthen the crown of the head forward first, then turn the chin. If that doesn't work for you, you can let it hang or look down. Just breathe and just notice a moment your energy and how it has shifted since we started. Now we'll take the top arm up and look down and inhale back to center. Relax the arms a moment, take your feet to parallel, and we'll take left leg all the way out. Back toes in. If you shortened your stance for triangle, make sure to lengthen it again. Arms at shoulder height, inhale. Exhale, bend the knee over the ankle, making sure that it lines up over the middle toes. Gazing over the fingertips is your drishti, your focal point. Keep lifting the belly and then take your right hand behind your back and reverse inhale. Exhale, bend into the knee, roll the shoulder back. Inhale, come up, lean forward, left arm around the belly, right arm up and over, little pinky side of the hand down. Let's do that again. Inhale, back up. Right hand behind, reverse. Exhale, bend into your knee. Inhale up, lean forward, left arm around belly, right arm in line with the ear. One more. Inhale and reverse. Hand behind you, rolling the shoulder back, bend into the knee. Press into that front heel. Inhale, back up, lean forward, get some space. Left arm around belly, right arm up and over. Now we'll inhale, come on up. Take your right hand to the leg, reverse this way. Exhale, bend the knee. Almost done bending it. Inhale, slowly straighten. Exhale, reverse triangle. I love it. Now come on up, setting up for your triangle pose, shortening the stance or not. See what feels good for you. Hinge from your hip crease. Reach, reach, reach out, get some space. Take your left hand down wherever it falls. Reach up through the right fingertips. Bottom ribs forward, top ribs back. And take that top arm, reach it in line with the ear as you inhale. Exhale, sweep it down and bring it to the low back or hook it onto the thigh. Either way, roll your top shoulder back. Now press into the base of the big toe of your left foot, drawing your left hip under you, pressing calf to shin, firming the legs without locking the knees. It's a little tricky, I know. Relax your shoulders, look up only if it's okay with your neck. You can always look down. And then just be here for a couple of breaths. Now let's take that top arm back up, inhale. Look down to the foot, exhale, and all the way up to center. Bringing your feet to parallel with your toes pointed in toward each other a little bit. Arms at shoulder height, inhale. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind you or hook your thumbs or hold a strap. Roll the shoulders back, oh crack, crack, look up, inhale, and then fold, exhale. So it's really hard to keep a little softness in your elbows when you do this one. So just be mindful of it, do your best. Shift the weight toward the balls of the feet. Draw in through the belly. Move your head if you have any tension. And just let your breath on your exhale move you in a little bit deeper if that feels okay in your body. Lift your pelvic floor. Firm your outer hips and inner thighs towards center. And we're going to come up with a nice long spine on the inhale. Release your interlace and reach the arms up. Look up, exhale, soften around the neck and shoulders. Then take the arms out to shoulder height again, inhale. Take the opposite interlace or the opposite thumb. Roll your shoulder heads back, open the chest, inhale, lengthen. Hinge from the hip creases, exhale, coming forward. Any amount. Sometimes the crown of my head touches the floor, and sometimes it does not. And that is completely okay. In fact, I could probably make it touch the floor if I went a little wider in my stance, but today I feel like the stability in my legs is what I want. Check where the weight of your feet are. Weight of your feet are. And shift toward the balls of your feet a little. Let your exhale open the shoulders gently. Keep a little softness in your elbow joints. Firm the outer hips and inner thighs towards center like you're holding a giant beach ball. And gaze nasagra drishti, right off the tip of the nose softly. Pull the belly in and up, lift the pelvic floor, come up with a flat back on your inhale. Sweep the arms out, around and up, stretch them up. Exhale and bring them back down. We're going to turn the right leg out again. And the back toes in. We're going to move into half moon pose. So if you like a block for this, put it behind the little toe side of your front foot. Arms at shoulder height. If you have fire around, make sure that you have enough room. Hinge from the hip crease and reach out. And then wherever the hand falls, stretch up through the top arm. So we're going to move from triangle pose, which is basically the same shape as half moon. So take your left hand to your hip, look down, bend the knee, pick up the block if you're taking it, bring it forward so that your wrist is under your shoulder, and then float your back leg up. While you're here, lengthen your sitting bone toward the heel. Point your toes straight ahead so that your hip doesn't open up, and perhaps add your arm. For 3 breaths, bandhas, bandhas. And 2. Now stay here, or option to bend the back knee, reach for the little toe side of the foot. For chaprasana, press it back. It's a good stretch for the front of the thigh and the hip flexor and the shoulder. 1 more breath, and then we'll let that go. Now we're going to land in triangle pose. So if you've got your block, you'll pick it up, bring it with you. Bring it behind the front foot and slowly into triangle. Look down to the foot, inhale, come up. If you haven't done that before, it's a little tricky in the beginning. I'm going to move this way for the other side so I don't hit fire. But when you land from half moon back into triangle pose, it really flows very nicely once you get the hang of it. Left leg out, back toes in, line up heel to arch. I love that I have lines so I can see heel to arch. It makes it so nice. Arms at shoulder height, inhale. Hinge and reach, exhale. Reach, reach, reach. Wherever that hand falls is perfect. Oh, if you're using your block, make sure you brought it to the little toe side of your foot. Now we'll take this right hand to hip and look down. And if you're using the block, you'll pick it up. Make sure these toes don't turn in as you make this movement. Right hand down, wrist under shoulder, float your left leg up. Oops, left hand down, float your right leg up. You knew what I meant. You know me and my rights and lefts. So lengthen from the sitting bone to the heel. Perhaps add your arm. Press into the big toe side of your standing leg, your left foot, and then stay here, or bending the knee, reaching for the little toe side of that foot, and then pressing it back, opening the chest, the shoulder, and breathing. Now, if you have this foot, oh, it's a good stretch, but we're going to let it go. Remember, we're coming back to triangle. So think about that first. Bend your front knee. Bring your front hand behind the foot or on the leg. Back foot down. Triangle. Look down and come up. Nice work. Bring your feet to parallel. Bring your hands on your hips, pointing your toes forward, and just lift your chest and close your eyes a moment. Again, just noticing the shift in the energy. Noticing, just get right into your body. Notice how it feels. And then inhale, take your arms to shoulder height, open your eyes. Bend the knees, hold the breath in, step or hop your feet together, and back to the front. Back to Samastitihi. from here, let's inhale and bend the knees, drop the hips, and reach up. And fold as you exhale. Come halfway up, lengthen, inhale. On your exhale, you'll step or float back into chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. Lifting right leg, inhale, with level hips again. As you exhale, you'll bring your right knee to the outside of your left tricep and hold it here. Just for 3 breaths. Press away from the mat, round the back, 2. Now pulling the belly in, bring it to center. Step it up by the right hand. Stand the ball of your back foot. Rising up. Pull that right hip back. Drop your tailbone down. Turn your right palm to the back of your mat and bend your elbow. With your left hand, spin your tricep in toward your face. You can keep your left hand on top of the elbow or bring it behind you, rolling the shoulder forward to clasp your shirt or your hand and then roll it back. And breathe. It's a nice little shoulder stretch for 3 breaths. And 2. And then we'll take the arms back up. Inhale. Exhale. You can go right into down dog and stay or to plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhaling up. Back to plank. You can hold it. Or one more chaturanga to down dog. Take a breath here. Engage your bandhas. Left leg lifts, inhale. Level hips. As you exhale, bring it to the outside of the right tricep. I can talk. 3 and 2. Bring it to center. Step it up. Stand the ball of the back foot. As you come into your high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Pull the left hip back. Drop your buns down. Lift your belly in and up. Turn your left palm to the back of the mat. Bend the elbow. With your right hand, spin the tricep in. Right hand on top of elbow, or take it out, roll the shoulder forward, get it back there. Hold something, and then roll the shoulder back. Keep lifting your hip points towards your low ribs, and lift up through your back ribs. Just a couple breaths here, stretching out the shoulders. And now reach the arms, inhale. Exhale, hands down to plank pose or go right to down dog and stay. Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, plank again. Hold it. Very good for strengthening. Or one more to down dog. Now from down dog, we'll step the right foot up by the right hand. So lift it up, step it forward. Walk your back foot in about a foot's distance and take it flat. Line up heel to heel or a little bit wider. Bring your right hand to your low back. Reach your left arm forward, make a nice long spine. Inhale. Pull this right hip back. As you exhale, as you're leaning forward, take your left hand to the inside of the foot. Take it onto the shin or to the little toe side or onto a block. Then pull the right hip back as you lengthen the spine. Inhale. Turn your ribcage and your chest and reach up. Squeeze outer hips, inner thighs, and lift your pelvic floor and your low belly. It completely changed my pose when I was in Ashtanga teacher training, and I learned to engage my bandhas in this pose. All of a sudden I wasn't wobbly all over and it was crazy, like a whole new pose. Then you can stay right here or we'll move into twisted half moon. So right hand to low back, look down, pick up your left hand, bring it in front of you on a block if you'd like. wrist under shoulder. Float the right leg up. Point your toes straight to the floor, just like we did on hands and knees. We want to make sure that hip, you can just even check. You want to make sure your hips are level. Then turn to the same side and reach for 3 breaths. And 2. And look down to the floor and simply step your feet together. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, step or float, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back. So we'll do the left leg. So lifting left leg from the inner thigh, level hips. Step it up by the left hand. Now walk your right foot forward about a foot's distance and line up heel to heel or a little wider, especially if you're wobbly. Then take your left hand to your low back and reach your right arm forward. Lengthen, hinging from your hip creases. Reach, reach, reach. Take your right hand to the inside of the foot. It's a little bit easier on a block if you have it, or up on the leg if you don't have a block, or to the little toe side on the ground, on the earth, or a block. Pull the left hip back as you lengthen, inhale, and then turning, rib cage, chest, reach to the left fingertips, an option to turn your head up, which I would keep up, except then you can't hear me. Now firm outer hips, inner thighs a lot. Lift your pelvic floor a lot. Really, really helps. Every inhale, lengthen from your navel to the crown of the head. Every exhale, maybe you can turn your rib cage or chest a little bit more as you twist. One more big breath. Now take your left hand to your low back, right where your hips are. Make sure they're still level. Bring your right hand over to the right side of the mat, bending the left leg. Bring your right hand forward so your wrist is lined up with the shoulder. Lift the right leg and point your toes straight to the floor with level hips. Lengthen the whole spine, inhale. Exhale, make your twist and perhaps add your arm. Looking up toward the fingertips if your neck is good with it. Bandhas for 3 and 2 and back to center. Take a step toward the middle of your mat. Take your feet about as wide as your mat and come down. Malasana. If that's too much for your knees, stay right here. So, remember we were doing cat and cow, and we were drawing knees into bellies, and I was having you round through the upper back, press away from the earth, and engage those bandhas. This is the same actions in Bakasana. So, this is kind of a beginning Bakasana. So if you have your pillow or your blanket, put it right here. It's just a little extra, a little assurance so you don't feel as uncomfortable about a face plant, which can happen and actually can be a good thing because a lot of people don't go far enough forward. So if you have to find that tipping point. It's kind of like a fulcrum of a teeter-totter. You have to find enough moving forward and going back so that you can balance. So this first one, we're going to stay low, bring the hands down. The knees will be toward the outsides of the triceps. Lean the weight forward, round your back, look forward, don't look down. Take the weight into the hands, and then maybe pick up a foot and another foot, maybe both feet. Rounding, pressing away from the earth. Engage your bandhas. And then relax. Now if your heels are up like mine are right now, you can always put your blanket or another blanket under the heels for more support. So practice this one, especially if you're newer to Bakasana. Or the full Bakasana, the arms are straight, which I've been working on for a long time. I may or may not get there, but That's what I'm working towards. So you do the same. We'll see how it goes. Take your feet parallel. Have your soft landing in front of you. Bring your hands flat. Bend your knees, open them up a little, take them toward the armpits. Now, even though you're not squeezing on the arms, you still want to squeeze the legs in toward one another. So come onto the balls of the feet, get them on in there. Keep your gaze forward, shift forward, round your back, press away from the earth. Maybe one foot will come up, switch them, or both. Keep pressing, keep your gaze forward. If your feet are up, take them together, lift your heels toward your buns. Bandhas, bandhas, and bandhas. Let's release and rest. Nice work. Let's just come onto the knees. So I do get questions about, oh my gosh, I've been practicing Bakasana and I have bruises on my arms. And the reason is because we need more bandhas, even more. Seems impossible. But the more you can pull in and up through the pelvic floor and the belly, the lighter your body will feel. So let's do it one more time. You can do the low one that you just did, or the knees toward the armpits one. This time, we'll jump back into chaturanga if you jump. If you don't jump, you're not going to do that. If you do jump back to chaturanga naturally, normally, then from Bakasana, you're going to extend the legs back, land with your elbows bent, and don't hesitate. So once you hesitate, then all of a sudden your knees find the mat and it's not so comfortable. Don't want to scare you, just want to tell you how it is. Okay. So take the palms down. You've got your soft landing in front of you as needed. Come onto the balls of the feet, knees into the armpits. Squeeze outer hips, inner thighs like you're holding a block between your legs. Shift your weight really far forward and then start to lift the feet. Rounding the back, ribs and belly pull in. Really engaging those bandhas. If you're going to try the chaturanga, just visualize it in your mind and then extend when you're ready. Chaturanga. And then up dog. And then down dog. Then walk your feet toward your hands toward your feet, and bring your feet together. And on the balls of the feet, or if you can do flat feet, you can take your heels down as well. And now we'll work on twisted Bakasana as we had a request. So from this position, I'm facing forward. This is my right side, my left side. So I'm going to take my left arm across. And it's like I'm gluing it just above the knee. And then I take the palm onto either the floor or the mat, wherever it reaches. Then I'm going to take my right elbow and I'm going to glue it to my hip. This is the easier or sometimes cheater way for a lot of us. I'll show you the other way too. I'm going to take both palms flat, move my malas out of the way. Then, so with my elbows bent, I'm making a little shelf for my leg and my hip. Then I lean forward, looking off to the side, and then maybe I can lift my feet. But I've got my bandhas. And then if you're steady here, you can start to bring the leg that's on the bottom forward and the leg that's on the top back and reach to the balls of your feet. And breathe. Maybe looking off to the side. That's a Parsvadrashti. And then to come out, bring them back together and go down. Ta-da! Now I'm gonna turn the other way and do the other side. So down from my squat, now I'll bring my right arm across and glue it to my knee. Take the hand down. So it's better to either have your palm on your mat or on the floor instead of half and half. Scoot over this way a little. Then left elbow glued to left hip, palm flat. You're gonna bend your elbows like chaturanga elbows. So as you lean forward, your elbows will bend. Lean, lean, lean enough so that you can pick your feet up. Squeeze your inner thighs, lift your pelvic floor and belly. And breathe. If you're steady, bottom leg comes forward, maybe, top leg back, and reach to the balls of your feet. Come out. A little slower usually, but bring your feet together and come down. Whew, how did it go? I know, it's not easy. So let's come onto our knees for a moment and just press the backs of the hands together. And then fingertips up, palms touch, backs of the hands, kind of like a waterfall. Don't go chasing waterfalls. I'm sure probably 3/4 of you don't know that song. Back down. And I'm going to show you the non-cheater way. I'm going to turn this way again. This one's harder for me. Some of you will find it easier. If you have a hard time twisting, this one's usually easy for you. If twisting's not so difficult, this one might be harder for you. So we take the left arm across, instead of gluing it just above the knee, glue it around the center. And then your right hand will be down. We'll bend the elbows like chaturanga elbows again. However, this right arm's not gonna touch anything. Crazy, right? And lean forward, bend the elbows, get the feet out of the way, and maybe they'll come up. And I'm not very good at extending the bottom leg forward and top leg back in this one, so I won't. My knees should probably be in line with each other, but they're not. And release. Yep, this one's hard for me to do. So, here you go. All right, we'll do the other side. I'm gonna turn this way. Now, the right arm will come across and right about to the middle of the leg. Glue it. Take it to the floor. The left elbow is going to bend, so both arms will bend like chaturanga arms. And then you'll lean your weight over. And if your feet are in the way, you got to scoot them a little bit forward so that they can get up. So bending, scooting feet out of the way, and then lifting them. Bandhas, bandhas. Ah. Breathe. And release. That was my foot, just so you know. Now, take the backs of your hands onto the mat. And just put a little pressure there. And flip them over. Fingertips back. Now, I also wanted to do headstand today, but I won't have time to break it down. So let's put a pin in that one, and we'll do that one next week. Today was all about the core, the twists, the arm balances, bakasana and twisted bakasana. I know I had a lot of great ideas, picking up, jumping back, wonderful ideas for classes, but I thought, oh my gosh, if I put them all together, we'll be here for 5 hours. So let's do a little bit of cooling down, shall we? Extended child's pose. So we've already been at it an hour. Time does fly though, doesn't it? Big breath here. And another. And then just let your arms kind of soften, let your head soften, move a little side to side. Just releasing any stress. And then we'll come up onto the knees and tuck the toes for down dog. Stretch back, pull the ribs and belly in, make your way to plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale, knees up or down. Inhaling up dog, wrists over shoulders or cobra. Pause a moment here. Roll the shoulder heads back, inner thighs lift to the sky, outer hips down. Big breath. And then exhaling to down dog. Now looking forward, we're going to come to seated. So up onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, keep your butt up, and then as you hop, cross at the shins, and sit on your bottom. I'm going to do a little bit of back bending so we can be well-rounded. Come onto your back, heels under knees, outer edges of feet parallel. As you inhale, pull the belly in, lift hips, low back, mid back, maybe upper back. Keep your palms flat or grab the sides of the mat and pull, or roll the shoulders under and interlace. Spin your inner thighs down and keep your neck long. Now as you take your next breath in, keeping the neck long, but try and lift your chest up toward the sky and even a little towards your chin so that your shoulder blades are pressing toward your chest and opening it up. And then release and lower down. Soles of feet together, knees apart, or you can drop your knees in towards center. Put a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart center. And breathe here. And once again, bringing your attention to your heart center. Imagine that bright green light extending outward, sending love out to all beings everywhere, reminding us that we are connected. And now if the soles of your feet are together, take your hands to the thighs and bring them up. Bring your knees up. We'll do one more bridge. Same way, lifting up, rolling shoulders under, palms down, grab the sides of the mat or interlace. Or we'll do, those were my knees cracking. They do that a lot. Or we'll do Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow if you'd like, if that's part of your practice. The hands under the shoulders. Make sure your elbows are pointed toward the sky, and make sure your toes don't start to turn out because they're going to want to. Come to the crown of the head. So make sure the elbows aren't splaying out but are parallel. Toes in a little and then press. Oh goodness, good stretch for the front of the body. Breathe, lengthen sitting bones to backs of knees, inner thighs spin down, and shoulder blades to chest. Now to come out from all the way up, bring your chin in first, and then lower. And if you're in bridge, release your bridge, and now hug your knees into your chest. Panasana. Rock a little side to side. Now either roll your right and press up, or you could rock up and down the spine a couple times. I always like threes. I always do things in threes, so 3 rocks for me. You can take 2 or 4. Extend your legs, pull your toes back, press your heels down, sit up tall in Dandasana. If your lower back's a little bit rounded, then sit up on your pillow or your folded blanket, just the edge of your buns. Reach the arms, inhale. Hinge from your hip creases, come forward with a nice long spine. Hold your legs, use a strap, grab your feet, grab the mat, whatever works. Then lengthen one more time as you inhale and extend as you exhale. So this pose is a great stretch for the hamstrings, but because we just did back bends, we want to make sure we get into the lower back. So if that means bend your knees and do it this way, then do that. Lengthen the crown of the head forward. Don't let it drop because there's a flow of energy. In yoga, it's called prana. In Chinese medicine, it's called qi. But this prana in yoga, it translates to life force, and it runs along Sushumna Nadi, which is Nadi is an energy channel. The biggest one is Sushumna, runs up and down your spine to the crown of your head. If you drop your head, you're cutting off the flow of prana. Don't want to cut off the life force. So crown of the head's moving forward. Breathe. then inhale as head up. Exhale, release. Carefully make your way onto your back. Any back issues, be sure to use your hands, or you could do a little extra. We got a lot of core work in today, but if you want a little more. And then shift your hips over to the right and drop your knees off to the left. You could cross right knee over left, extending your right arm. Scoot your left shoulder away from your right shoulder and your right shoulder away from the left, and turn your belly toward the sky. And breathe. Eyes can be open or closed. Let's take 4 more long breaths. And now we'll come back to center. Inhale. Bring your hips and knees to center and your head to center. And then pick up your hips, take them a little to the left, dropping your knees over to the right. You can cross left over right if you want to go a little deeper. Then scoot your right shoulder away from the left and your left shoulder away from the right. And then your head will turn over your left shoulder. I'll do that in a moment. Once you get there, turn your belly up toward the sky and just breathe, and we'll stay for 5 long breaths. Let everything relax. And inhale, bring your knees to center, your hips to center, your head to center. Hug your knees into your chest. A little happy baby, just for fun. Lengthen your sitting bones down toward the earth. Stretch out your low back. And then we'll make our way into our final resting pose, which is super important not to be missed. So take your feet down, lengthen your sitting bones toward the backs of your knees, and draw your shoulder blades towards your waist. Then extend the legs. If you have any discomfort in your lower back, you can have your knees bent or roll up your blanket or your pillow and put it underneath the backs of the knees for a little lift. Little pillow under the head or under the cervical spine. The neck is always nice as well. And take your arms a little bit away from your body. Let your feet just flop the way they want to. And then kind of get nice and settled in, really heavy. And then once you've gotten into your comfortable position, just natural breathing, close your eyes and allow the tension to just flow out of you with every exhale. For quiet mind, quiet body, Shavasana rest. right where you are. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let's start to move your fingers and your toes and circle your wrists and your ankles. Take a long breath in as you stretch the arms overhead. It's like a good morning stretch, regardless of what time it is where you are. Now bend your knees, roll onto your right side. Take a moment here to honor yourself. You have showed up, you have done your practice, you're taking great care of yourself, and that is so important, especially now. Now using the left hand, make your way up to a comfortable seat. Our quote today is from Amma, who is also known as the hugging saint. And Amma means mother. The sun shines down and its image reflects in 1,000 different pots filled with water. The reflections are many, but they are each reflecting the same sun. Similarly, when we come to know who we truly are, we will see ourselves in all people. Now bring our hands together in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. Have that little space for your heart. Bring your hands to the forehead, reminding you to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart, reminding you to have clear and loving intentions. And your hands to your mouth to remind you to have clear and loving communication. Sending out this beautiful heart energy, sending love, hope, and healing to all beings everywhere. Namaste.